Alright. Welcome to the sideboard. My name's Eric, and tonight it's time to play some MTG, and I've brought 4-color energy. Not just any 4-color energy deck. I actually wanted to run Chris Larsen's list from GP Portland, so that's what we've got tonight. If you do like the show, give us a thumbs up, and if you like the content in general, go ahead and subscribe. Let's take a look at the deck here. So, starting off, yes, it's an energy deck, and yes, it's kind of Temur energy. But Temur energy, typically when I think of Temur energy, yeah, you can say any deck that has Harness Lightning, Attune, and Rogue Refiner. But when I think of Temur energy, I think of Chandra, I think of Glorybringer, and those cards. What does the deck use to finish the game with? Now, granted, it can kill with Rogue Refiner and Whirler Virtuosos, but there's no Long Tusk Cub here. Instead, for the 2-drop, we actually have Glint Sleeve Siphoner. You'll notice that there's a lot more kill in the deck. Instead of just Harness Lightning, we also have 4 Fatal Push. Now, we did keep the 2-drop from Temur Energy with the Servant of the Conduit. I say we, but I do technically mean Larsen. He kept these cards in. But let's take a look at the higher end of the curve over here. We've got 3 copies of Gonti in the main board. And then we have 2 Vraska's Contempt main board. And then 3 Scarab Gods. The goal here is to throw this bad boy down on 4, untap on 5, and start bringing stuff back. That idea is going to be absolutely terrific. Now, the deck does top off with 2 Vraska, the Relic Seeker, and that's really no stranger to these 4-color energy decks. Now, looking at the sideboard, we're going to see some cards that we're a little bit more familiar here with, you know what, belay my last. Let's just look at the sideboard. We've got 2 copies of Chandra's Defeat and 3 copies of Duress, 2 Negates, 3 Deathgorge Scavengers, 1 Appetite for the Unnatural. Remember, Vraska in the main board can also kill enchantments and things like that, so just 1 other copy of Appetite for the Unnatural. And then our 3rd Vraska's Contempt, because we have to shore up our matchup there against Red deck and any other Scarab God deck. Also, it's very important that if we're going to leave our Scarab Gods in against a Temur Energy deck, that we actually have to maintain having a Vraska's Contempt just to destroy our own Scarab God if need be. Now, Hour of Devastation, here, let me move this over for you guys. Hour of Devastation does the same thing. It will kill our Scarab God if it's on their side of the board, or our side of the board, of course. But that would also give it back to us, as it would come back to our hand at the end of turn. Now, the top end here is Nicol Bolas, which has been seen in a few of the 4-color decks, and this is no stranger to the Temur game. So we're using a lot of Temur's own tools against them, but the deck is a little bit spicier than your average Temur deck, and I thought it would be just perfect for the channel. I think you guys would like to see this deck if you were going to be watching any Temur deck. And Larsen's entire goal was to play a deck that could beat Temur Energy. And granted, it will take some skillful play to beat Temur Energy and quite a bit of luck, but Larsen went 10-0 in the Swiss with this deck. Now, he did get put out in the quarterfinals as soon as he got to the quarterfinals. I forget what he played against, but it might have been Pascal Maynard. Anyway, that's the deck. We're going to get into a few games here and see what happens. Crewfix and Zaxadillo? Zaxadillo, that's got to be right. The Anti-Temur, yes sir. That's kind of the point. Like, if we can find a really good deck to just break those Temur decks' hearts, that would make me feel good. And yeah, energy's definitely a good shell for anything. Well, I'm actually going to be saving most of my energy cards because I think that eventually energy will be reprinted again. And I don't think they'll put quite so many energy cards that are good in the future, but I do believe that when it does happen, it will increase our chances of getting some energy modern decks. Well, we can glint sleeve. That's all we can do. This is not actually a good hand for a 4-color energy deck. I mean, the deck is mainly black, though. Well, black-green. It's based in black-green. We've got a lot of bad cards we could get off the top here. As good as this looks, I mean, it honestly looks great with Fatal Push, Glint Sleeve, Siphoner, Guaranteed Gonti, as long as we hit lands. We're just in the queues. We're not in a league. Let's find out what happens when the deck doesn't get 4 colors. How hard is it to play 4 colors? It's probably a bad thing to try. If I was in a tournament, I would 100% have mulliganed this. But we're going to get frisky here. Well, right, it did kill the Boros deck. And another Gonti. Well, we'll go ahead and play our Glint Sleeve. So should I, like, just always keep 3 lands if I can? Hey, well, Harness Lightning this. No, he's not. He'll Harness Lightning it next turn? Well, that hurts. And then we'll get into combat, get our second energy, and hopefully we can let this Glint Sleeve live for a turn. And we did miss our 3rd land drop there. And looks like he's going to be able to tune for his 3rd. And another Servant. Okay. Well, we will draw. And I think we just play the Servant. Maybe the right answer there would have been Harness Lightning this. We would have got to draw a card next turn. I mean, we can still can off the Servant here. I mean, I'm looking at Scarab God next turn. Maybe I'm being too greedy by trying to go for Scarab God here. Maybe I could have just, you know, Harness Lightning and then next turn Gonti. Well, we only missed 1 land drop. And then, like, you know, got to do that. Rogue Refiner. Well, I will go ahead and draw another card. We'll still have 1 energy. Yeah, we'll be okay with that. We can draw a card. And we get Rogue Refiner. So here we could actually, I mean, we just slam, we're supposed to just slam the Scarab God, right? No, we can't. If we play the Scarab God, we can't actually play anything else. So what we need to do is Rogue Refiner, Harness Lightning, swing. Yeah, and I actually like Harness on the Servant here. Yeah, we're going to go that route, guys. We're going to go Rogue Refiner. marsh. Well, we've already played our land for the turn. Let's go ahead and kill this so that we can swing this turn. And we'll net a couple energy here. Or 1 energy anyway. Technically, I guess we lose it because we had to pay for it. He cycles. Okay. And we're going to attack. Just keep putting that pressure on. Now we have some cards in the graveyard. We have a couple extra energy we can use on mana, you know, because we don't have a blue mana, and we may end up losing the servant. Okay, so there's the Scarab God. Let's draw another card. See if we can get a Vraska's Contempt here. No, just another the Scarab God and a tapped land. Well, unfortunately, tapped land's not what I'm looking for. But we are going to go ahead and play the blue source. Go ahead and put a stop in my end step here. Sorry, I'm trying to think about the best way to navigate through this turn. Unfortunately, we have to spend Harness Lightning in our end step, which means we don't have the mana here. But we have to swing because we don't have enough energy. So if we don't swing, we do not have enough. This is a really complex turn. I'm very well. I mean, if we just kill Rogue Refiner and swing, like, are we just trying to push damage at that point and just see if we can outrun him? I don't think that's a great idea. But we have to swing for the energy. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Is there any reason to not swing with everything? If he wants the Glint Sleeve dead, he has to double block. These both would get through. If he blocks either of them over the Glint Sleeve, do I want to lose 2 or 1? Okay, so if I attack with everything, I have the he has the option to make me lose 2 creatures. But I'll keep Glint Sleeve and draw an additional card in the next turn, and we got to get to Vraska's Contempt. Okay, so I guess we just hit him for 3 this turn. We'll get our additional energy. So now we can actually kill the Scarab God. Okay, so he does get to do that. We will kill the Rogue Refiner. And we've got to stop setting our end step. Now we will kill the Scarab God. So since we did it in our end step, he actually won't get it back until his next end step. So he will not be able to cast it next turn. So next turn we cast our Scarab God, and that puts us back ahead of him. And then if he tries to do it to us, we have double Scarab God. Complicated. I hope that was the right line of play. We had to be able to do that so that we could get back. So now he's getting his Scarab God back. So he wasn't able to play it that turn. Now we play a hub. That's decent. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, we'll go ahead and play the Scarab God. And we'll swing in with the Rogue Refiner here. If he makes 2 Thopters, I'm definitely okay with that. 6 energy for our Rogue Refiner. So if all goes well, we untap with a Scarab God. Okay, does he do it? Now we're in step. Looks like he's trying to pay costs, so yep. Alright, so he's trying to flip it back on us, but again, we had 2 Scarab Gods, so we get to play ours next turn no matter, or either way. So now he's gonna try to push it back on us. An immediate mirror match. Well, it's pretty close, isn't it? We run, well, we haven't seen a Gonti out of him, but we're definitely against a 4-color energy. So we know he has the Scarab God and an island. What is his last card? I would love to top deck a Vraska's Contempt. Oh, that would be so good. He should have swung there. Fatal Push. Well, we'll go ahead and... So, he should have killed ours in his end step, but he did not. I'll leave up the Fatal Push mana, of course. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's just not worth it to. It's not worth it to kill the Whirler. So that is what we're pushing for here, is the ability to be able to bring back 2 at a time, where he has only 1 at a time. We'll see, though. I mean, he draws 1 land off the top, he's bringing back another. Although, it would have to be a particular land. Fatal Push is really good right here. That would do it. That would do it. I don't know why I tapped that. Trading Scarab Gods would be bad for us here. We do have to take the damage. And we will cast on the Glint Sleeve. Thankfully he got something that was less than 3 converted mana cost. If he would have got a Rogue Refiner, we wouldn't have been able to Fatal Push that. Okay, so which one do we want him to get? Well, I guess we just go for Rogue Refiner. Rogue Refiner? So let's go blue, black, colorless. And we will target his Rogue Refiner. So now he can target it. Oh, do we just target it instead? Sure, why not? We need the energy. Okay, so we get a rogue refiner, we get some energy, we get another land. He does not get rogue refiner. Scarab God, we will put that on the bottom. We get the one spell we could cast this turn. And we will go ahead and take the other blue source. I am not for sure I know how to navigate through this. I want to swing, but we can't swing because of Whirler. I'm really not sure on how we navigate through this. Maybe we just play the long game here and start blocking, saving our life total. I mean, he's thinking about making 3 Thopters right now, so... What deck are you guys talking about? Okay, so he gets a Servant. Hey. Well, we definitely need to start playing for time. We're 4 minutes down, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the yielding button. Swords of Plowshares in Standard. That would be brutal. I'm thinking we might actually be too far behind here. Okay, so we have to get that Vraska's Contempt. So let's go ahead and make 1. And what do we want? Are there any creatures in the graveyard? Ooh, there are no creatures in the graveyard. Okay, my bad. I should have looked at that. So, come on, Vraska's Contempt. Or Vraska. Vraska looks real good right here. So, we'll play Vraska. And... I mean, we lose Vraska as soon as we do this. Oh my god, that is so good! Destroy the Scarab God. Now I'm going to bring it back. So, I'm actually going to leave up that blocker. So, I'm actually just going to sacrifice the treasure for a black, blue, colorless, the Scarab God. And I will keep the Scarab God. Okay. So now how do we come back from this? He makes 4 Thopters. Hits us for 4. Does he hit Vraska? No, it was not slam Gonti. It was get rid of the Scarab God for good. I couldn't just slam a Gonti there. We're just going to pass. It will exile his if it leaves, but now he has to use something good enough to destroy the Scarab God. And this is just a token. So once he finally can get rid of the Scarab God, then I'll play this one. But for now, we're just going to play some Gontis. Gonti's going to set up decently for us here. Glorybringer will kill the Scarab God and probably actually end the game right here. Yep, that's going to do it. So now he just turns everything sideways. We had no answer to Glorybringer anyway. Yeah, we had no answer to Glorybringer. Everything is at us. He kills the Scarab God. So, yeah, I guess that was a bad play. If we would have had a 5-5, well, then he would have just killed this, and we would have been able to block and leave one up. Yeah, I guess it was the wrong play. So we'll block there and here and take 4 anyway. Yeah, or take 8 anyway. We only took 4. Oh, he was swinging at Vraska. That's right. Okay, how do we come back from this? Gonti. Let's do the first Gonti. Or is it? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can the Scarab God and creature. Only thing I can bring back is Servant. He swings with Thopters. Let's look and see what he's got in his deck. We can't win. We're dead to this. What does Harness do for us? I think Harness is the right card, but we don't have enough mana to cast it and anything else. Yeah, let's just Gonti and see more of his deck. We know he has Chandras now. We didn't know that before. So we'll look at this and then we'll just scoop it up. If things would have been slightly different, we would have just played Scarab God, bring back the Servant, but we would have been dead on Crackback. So I chose this path to just look at his graveyard, or look at his deck a little bit more. We know he's got Scavenger Grounds in the in there, so okay. All right, sideboard versus Temur Energy. Temager. That's it. It's Temager. Actually, against 4-color. Definitely think Deathgorge Scavenger is going to be good. Man, all of this is good. All of this is good. What are we cutting? Fatal Push is good. Whirler. I would actually rather be the control deck than the aggro deck. I don't know if we can cut the Whirlers and do well, though. I mean, Gonti would get us some good hits off of it. I think we'll cut 1 Gonti. Might cut 2 Gontis. Man, I kind of want Bolas in here, but that's not a real good option. That Hour of Devastation is going to be great. Might be counterintuitive, though. I got to keep Vraska. In the right situation, Vraska will just win it for us. Alright, so we are not going for the Whirler strategy. I'm just going to take that out. And I think we're going to cut one push. I know I'd really like to have this Nissa. Siphoner wins this matchup. Let's cut one more Gonti for a Nissa. Okay. Well, I really want to be able to hit one of my turn 5s on 4 or something like that. So Servant getting us ahead of the curve makes sure that we are even like farther ahead. Remember, that was a 2-land hand I kept with double black. Like that, we're keeping this. Yeah, we're going to keep this, and we'll start with our slew. So we'll just play the slew and pass. Definitely playing for time this game. And we will just go ahead and Servant. Next turn we're going to play the Rogue Refiner and see if we can draw a card. We did get our 4th land, so we'll just pass the turn here. Hunter, this is Larsen's version. Chris Larsen's version from GP Portland. Well, we could play either here. I'll just go ahead and get down my double black. As much as I want to add to the board here, I also want to harness lightning that Rogue Refiner and get in for 3. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to start pressuring the opponent here. We're starting to get a little bit of delay. And now we'll move to combat. And swing for 3. And then just pass the turn. Long Tusk Cub here. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and harness the Cub. Make use of our energy on our turn. He's already passed priority on that, so he's not going to be pumping energy into it. And we're just going to play the Deathgorge Scavenger, because if he wants... Actually, let's go ahead and get in for 3. I want to see if he wants to waste a spell on the Rogue Refiner. I'd prefer that. And then we'll play the Deathgorge Scavenger and eat his Rogue Refiner. Oh, yes. That actually reminds me. Wizards approved our clan on MTGO. So if anyone wants to join the Sideboard MTG clan on MTGO, you could do that. I'll show you how to do that after this game. That's what it was built for. It was built to be the Anti-Temur. He went 10-0 playing almost all Temur in Portland. The deck was built by Christoffer, I can't pronounce his first name 100%, but it's Chris Larsen, and he built it to beat Temur. The deck's actually not extremely well suited against other decks, and Temur itself is a hard fought match anyway. Probably should have played the tapped land there. Tyler, hello. Eight tick red. Well, sir, definitely check out our Reddit. Let's see here. Vraska. Well, that's not good. He made a pirate. Well, we will go ahead and destroy said Vraska. We really need to start top decking something decent here. Do we attack the pirate? Sure. When we cast this, it's going to kill everything anyway, so if we can make him spend the last 3 cards in his hand, maybe add more to the board, then I guess we should do that. Well, hopefully I don't lose, but this is not Temur. This is 4-color, and 4-color energy was also built to beat Temur. So this is a Scarab God deck where Temur Energy is a Glorybringer Chandra deck. I know it's like splitting hairs. Like the decks are extremely similar and they play the same things, but Classic Temur doesn't even play Scarab God and Vraska. This is your 4-color deck. What do we need? What do we need? I can't see it now. We have pretty much everything. We'll go for blue. And pass the turn. So, when I think of Temur, especially when you think of stock Temur, it doesn't have Vraska in it. It doesn't have Nicol Bolas in it for sure, but it doesn't have Vraska in it, and it doesn't have the Scarab God. It has Confiscation Coups to take your. Oh man, he's got the counter for this. Oh well, I mean we have to play it, right? Maybe he doesn't have the counter and he just has Keel. Yes, at Bristling Hydra, Cub, that's your Temur Energy deck. This doesn't even have a Long Tusk Cub in it. This is actually closer to Sultai Red than it is Temur Black. That's more how I would think of it. Okay. If it happened once, it might happen again, right? Cycling these. Oh wow, and we'll cycle that too. At end of turn. Well, that's the beauty of Temur. It has these aggressive starts. We'll go ahead and cycle. I mean, a turn 2 Cub unanswered is pretty aggressive. Wow. Alright. I mean, I'm going to swing. He actually has to deal with these. This is a 2-turn clock. So we'll go ahead and move to combat. I don't know how he would... I mean, he's got 3 cards in hand. If they're kill spells, we're definitely going to see them. Just holding on to this Rogue Refiner. We have so much mana right now, and we have lethal on board. We'll make him deal with this, and then we will play the... okay, that'll work. That will work. Sure, we'll go ahead and attune, although we don't have to. As much as I'm stalling here, sure, black. Play that. Get into combat. Attack, attack. Let him make some dudes, and then we'll play Rogue Refiner second main phase. Okay, he makes a dude. He decides to make another dude. Because Hour's an actually better card. River's Rebuke is a meme. The card's good. It is, don't get me wrong. But most of the time when you want River's Rebuke, it's for a bunch of cast outs, Ixalan's Bindings, things like that. Giving them back an Exerted Glorybringer, giving them back something that's going to have an Enter the Battlefield trigger, is not exactly what I'm looking to do. Okay. And we'll play Rogue Refiner and see what we draw here. Blooming Marsh, pass the turn. So he spent all energy making Thopters. I mean, we're definitely going for time. He's going to win the game on time, but we can't play game 3 in 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay. Well, we'll Vraska's Contempt that. And swing for lethal? Negate. Okay. I think the main reason for Hour of Devastation over River's Rebuke is because Hour of Devastation will let you actually kill everything. Putting a hazard back in their hand is not exactly what you want to do. And most of the time, by the time you can get to that, if they have hazard and a bunch of other things to fill their hand up, then you're losing anyway. So, River's Rebuke, it is a good card, but the reason it was so good on Cyclonic Rift is because it could be cast for 2. I'm trying to just pass turn here. Well, it definitely works against Chandra. It's terrific against Chandra. And a Harness Lightning. What do we draw? That was his last card in hand. And we'll just pass the turn. 19 mana. Or 19 energy. Maybe we shouldn't have taken the Whirlers out. What does he draw? River's Rebuke is not as good as everybody thinks it is. It's good in certain situations, and it's great against the white decks. But against you're definitely not bringing it in against red deck. And well, I mean, yeah, you're not bringing it in against red deck. It's 6 mana. So yeah, Hour, it costs 1 less, deals with pretty much everything, hits the planeswalkers as well. Maybe preferring it over commit, but commit is not even, like, we're looking for a board wipe. We're looking for a complete reset, and commit is a counterspell. I mean, yeah, it can draw 7, but it gives them 7. That's dangerous. I'm okay with giving my opponent 7 if I'm about to take an extra turn. We've already lost this. We can't even. I wonder why this happens. So he's dead on board. It's got Menace. It can't block. Can't be blocked. I'm just trying to pass. Like, I've already passed priority on this Glint Sleeve Siphoner here, and it won't let me. My time's just ticking away. The clock ticks. Yes, we would like that. That would be nice. Yeah, it happens about 9 o'clock every night. So, with that being said, I think I'm going to be changing my. Yes, we want. How many times do we get to say yes? I'm going to be changing my stream time. I think we're going to be starting about an hour earlier, maybe even a little bit sooner than that. But yeah, so we just want to go to combat here. All right. Well, I mean, I'm just trying to, like, it wouldn't even let me get that kill in. Come on, Magic. Well, I'm going to restart Magic here. This may be risky, but what does it do when we try to flip from deck to deck? It's not laggy there. Okay. Well, we're still going to restart Magic. By the way, if you do want this deck, the deck online is $217. On paper, a small fortune. So let's go ahead and get Magic back up here. Vintage Master flashbacks. I've actually never done a Vintage Masters draft. Yes, OC Remix is free, Crewfix. You can use it for whatever you would like. The only thing you have to do there is put their link somewhere in the video description. You may not even have to do that, but it was recommended. So, is that what it is? Are we updating MTGO? Can't be. Like, is that what happens every night at a certain time? I know MTGO around between 9 and like 11 o'clock at night just gets horrible. After 11, everything's right back to just... Oh, that's what you're doing. It's... That might be the end of our gameplay for tonight. If it is, we'll probably do a midday stream with this deck tomorrow. I want to get a couple more games in, like, so that maybe we get a chance to see it, you know, in some other matchups. I would like to see if we can find a Raminot red deck and play against that. That's another thing that I wanted to mention to you guys. If you do play MTGO and you get to playing on MTGO, look through the clan section. It basically will give you a second buddy list, and I would like to create a clan there on MTGO, and they are called clans. That is the lingo. But I would like to create a clan there on MTGO where we can, you know, play test together, you know, try decks. If you guys want to try decks, I will be starting an hour earlier, though. It'll probably take me a day or two to get the cover title on the YouTube homepage there on our page. I probably won't get that fixed until probably sometime this weekend when I'll get a chance to work on the artwork again. But do know that I'm going to be starting an hour earlier from now on, because every night around 9 o'clock, about 15 minutes till 9, this starts happening to us, and it's getting old. I want to be able to play Magic with you guys. I've got a lot of decks and, you know, good info in Standard that I want to show you guys, and this is definitely impeding that. So other than that, we're going to go ahead and call it a night for tonight. I do apologize, and we'll do some extra streams this weekend. I'll make sure that I get some more content in for you guys to make up for it. But look for tomorrow. I'll probably just post a couple games. I will be non-edited commentary, so I will just kind of talk to you guys anyway. So look for that tomorrow. I'll try to get at least 2 more games posted up there, and I still don't think it's going to let us back in. Maybe enough that we can at least show the clan. But the clan's just named Sideboard MTG, and I think you got to go to account to actually get to clans. But either way, looks like it's going to take forever to load. So, guys, we're going to call it a night right there. Thanks everyone for coming out, and I'll get those extra games up for you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. What am I doing? I had fun. I hope you had fun. We'll see you next time.